you're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall. Delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from the hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, picking any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. CWall and we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your weekly DMV Sports Update. And I am your host, CWall. Hey, everybody. I was trying to be all, low and everything with my voice. So how's everyone doing? How's everything going? I hope everybody's doing well. And while I see everybody checking in, make sure you hit the love button. Do that first, okay? Then we have to say a shout out to the CWall team that's on. So Joy is on, who facilitates the show every week. Mazdak is on, who you know is the chaplain for CWall. Listen, I'm seeing all of the dope DMV sports fans on right now. I see DJ, Ron Blackwell, John Adams, Cameron Mingo. Listen, you all want to tag in your fellow DMV sports fans. Because listen, check this out. I had to start saying this again because I had kind of stopped saying it because I was getting right into the show because it was a lot of stuff that needs to be covered. But I feel like this is a key component of the show and where the show originated from. And that is, when is there a dull moment in DC sports? And we say never, because there's absolutely never a dull moment in DC sports. Okay. So look, I'm hitting it again. Listen, but because I needed to bring it home. I needed it to really seep into your minds while we get into the conversation for this evening. Listen, I understand that it's a big night. It's NFL schedule night. I get it. I know. So I'll go ahead and end on time. Going to try. Okay, I'm going to try. It's a lot to cover. So if you have any fellow Nats fans, I need you to check in because we're going to do a Nats update. We're going to do a brief Wizards update. So Wizards fans, make sure you're checked in. Mystics update. Make sure you are checked in. Oh, we're going to talk about the Washington Capitals. The Washington Capitals, we're going to absolutely talk about that. Have the Caps fans checked in? And because you already know, when do we not talk about the Commanders? Has that ever happened? I think there may have been one show that we didn't talk about the Commanders. So, of course, that's going to come on. And I see everyone has already greeted Mama Waller accordingly. And that's beautiful. And I appreciate you guys for that. So listen, have you hit the love button yet? Have you shared yet? All right. Looks like you did. Let's go ahead and get started. Why don't we? Y'all, really quick, because I think I want to do this one first. I think I want to go ahead and just do the brief Wizards update. Head coach Wes Unseld Jr. will be representing the Washington Wizards next week at the NBA Draft Lottery in Chicago. The team announced today. Okay, so the Wizards entered the lottery slotted at 10th. Okay, so they got like a 3% chance of winning the number one pick and a 13% chance of jumping up into the top 4. Okay, so I thought that was important. Those things are coming up. You'll see Coach Unseld Jr. If the draft lottery is your thing, then make sure you're tuned in next Tuesday. I mean, I'm going to watch just because we're going to watch, but it'll be like the Wizards getting what pick? Who knows? I don't know. But at any rate, wanted to make sure that was mentioned. So make sure you all are looking out for that. Now, Nats news. Nats news. Listen, and I feel like I see a comment here already. Look, from Ron Blackwell. We're doing the DMV sports highlights on this show, right? And we are in baseball season. So it is important that we share the news. And the news is this: it's bad. It's bad. Now, I'm not going to drag the Nets like I did that year when they ended up winning the World Series. I'm not going to necessarily do that. But what I am going to do is alert everyone that this is not good. It's all bad. And I remember when the team traded Max Scherzer away, Trey Turner, everybody, except for Juan Soto, as far as I'm concerned. It was all for a purpose. It was all supposed to rebuild. And now it's like the learners have just given up. It's almost like, here's the thing. In the back of my mind, now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, did the learners already know that they wanted to sell? This could have been something that they already knew. This is why they let so many people go last year. Okay, people don't have money to pay people long term. Maybe we didn't care about paying people long term because you knew you were going to sell. Because this is bad. And this isn't something that I feel like was just thought up yesterday. Okay, once folks start saying they're exploring sell options and they just want to see what the market is, they just want to, test the waters. What they're telling you is we're selling the team. That's what they're saying. And like I said, I go back in time and I'm like, this is what this is. It took a long time to get there. And I want to acknowledge what John Adams is saying here. Winning championships are hard, stressful. And while the learners shared their success about, they made the playoffs and doing this and doing that, still after all of that, you came out with one championship and then the pandemic hit and then boom, everybody's out. I really do believe, I don't have any proof, so let me be clear. I can't prove it. But based on their actions, I believe they've known for some time they wanted to sell. I believe they've known for some time that the goal was always winning a championship together as a family. And that is what they did. And once they have now done that, they've said, you know what? This is hard. And everybody can go now. That's just my thought process. Why try to make, it work? Why try to pay people when we just ain't got it? We're just trying to get out here clean slate. Juan Soto don't want to stay in nothing like this. I mean, I wouldn't. More to come, something to watch and pay attention to. But I tell you what, again, it makes more sense to me now than it did before. Like they've been knew they were going to sell. So they just going to ride this thing out until further notice. Because it definitely has all of the makings of going down the tubes fast. Okay? So that's all I have to say. It looked bad. Everything is bad. The only thing that's good about it is Juan Soto. It's the only thing that's good. Only. But hey. And it's unfortunate. Let me say this. We definitely have to move on. It's unfortunate for him because he's so talented. And at his age, you just don't want to waste that talent on a team that cannot compete. And you haven't even built or created to compete. So, hey, to me, the writing's on the wall. It really, truly is. So, we're going to keep watching because that's what we do. We keep up with the teams in the area. So we're going to keep watching, keep paying attention, and we'll see where things go. Hey, you never know. Things could improve or not. Mystics fans, check in. Hey, listen, I want the Mystics fans to check in right here, right now. Check in, Mystics fans. And before we move on, listen, we got Caps coming up. The Washington Capitals. You definitely get them in this conversation. Your favorite Washington Capitals fans. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Commanders as well. So look, I have been telling you all for a few weeks now that the Mystics have absolutely, they got the energy. They have the energy. And here's the thing that's also been telling to me. They're having the energy and they're maintaining the energy when they don't even have all of their players on the court. Now, Coach Mike Tebow, as you all may know, Natasha Cloud is out currently in health and safety protocols with COVID. So we want to wish her well, right? Coach Mike Tebow shared today that she's feeling better. So that's promising. That's good. But she definitely still has to go through the quarantine time period. So we want to wish her absolutely well. So as we've shared many times, and I told you all draft night, I told you all on media day, I said, listen, the Mystics got the juice. They got the juice. They have the camaraderie. They have the mindset, and they're saying all of the right things. It is so important that when somebody asks the question of what is your goal for this season, what is your identity, and everybody's response is, we are here to win a championship. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That right there. Alicia Clark, she's slated to come back. She is so excited. So excited to be back. Can we give a shout out to Katie Benzon, former Lady Turk, out there balling for the Mystics? Shout out to Katie. Out here doing her thing, okay? Listen, y'all, I will say this, and I'm going to tell you all when I'm in the room and when I'm on the calls, what I'm hearing and what I'm sensing. They're coming back. As long as everybody can stay healthy. Now, Coach Tebow is going to tell you, like I've repeated and shared with you all, that he said, it is hard to win a championship when your star players are injured. When your key players are out, it's difficult. It's hard, and he's correct. They can get everybody back, and for the longevity of the season, because they're playing like it, they definitely talking like it. So if they're playing and talking like it, then you know they got the right mindset and they're thinking like it. So we're going to keep on watching the Mystics. Still all positive vibes, even with one of their star players, one of their leaders in COVID protocol early in the season. So keeping the energy, and everybody knows Natasha, she was balling, right? So she's going to come back fired up, ready to go. Keep watching. Still very early in the season. Still very early, but they're starting off strong with a 3-0 start. Very promising on all sides of the basketball. Isn't it beautiful to see Elena Delle Donne out there? Kudos to her. All that she's been through with her injuries and fighting to get back out there on the court. And quick plug, because I feel like this is important. And I want to say this. I want to remind everybody that last year, Elena Delle Donne was very loud about the fact that one of the players who helped her and coached her up when she was feeling down, when she wasn't sure if it was over for her, was Russell Westbrook. When he was in this town, he was one of the people that would work out with her, that would work, help to build her up. I just felt like that needed to be mentioned again. And even with me mentioning that, this leads me to another conversation and just another mention about all of the DMV sports teams. And that is, you gotta love how the teams show up for each other. KCP and others were at the Mystics game the other night. You know, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Shaka Tony, and others were at the Caps game the other night. A few of the Nats players. Listen, these area teams will show up for each other. Not just on social media. This ain't no social media gag. They really are in the building for each other. And when they can, they are practicing with each other and building that camaraderie, because that is what's up. And that's what you want to see. You want to see that camaraderie. You really do want to see that family look and feel, because the athletes, they have a hard job. They're traveling all the time. So I had to get on my soapbox about that really quick. So to see them all supporting each other is exactly the type of energy you want to see, even in their other teams' off season. When they're in the off season, they're going to go to the other team's games and vice versa. It's a good look, a great look. Now, everybody, we halfway through the show. We're halfway through. Has everybody checked in with the love button? Drop a fire emoji if you're still involved in the conversation, because now is when it's about to get hot. It's about to get hot. It's about to get hot. Do you know why it's about to get hot? It's about to get hot because I got to bring up the Washington Capitals. Yes, I have to bring up the Caps. I have to bring up the Caps. Now let me back up. Let me back up. To be fair and honest, and I shared this with you all, okay? I shared this with you all, and it was simply this. I shared this with you all. I said, I didn't predict. I said this on CBS Radio Lynchburg. I had the day, and I think DJ said he was listening that day, right? I have to tell the truth. I do. And they asked me in the rapid fire, okay? If not the Wizards, I've been looking at the Wizards, thinking about the Wizards. The reason why I thought about this about the Wizards is because the last time I was this upset was when the Wizards lost to the Clippers bench that game. That game took me out. I think that's how I mentally. That's why I brought up Wizards. The Caps. I said on the show, they said, "Do you think they can pull it off?" And I said, "Well, hold up." Because they got some banged up players, and you all know that Tom Wilson has been out. I said I wouldn't speak so soon. The Florida Panthers are good. They're known to come back. You have to be very strong defensively to beat the Florida Panthers. Okay? Then, first game, I'm like, whoa, the captain, whoa. Because see, hey, when I'm wrong in that respect, I'm not right about everything. I'm not right about look. I'm like, let me be wrong, because that's good. So listen, the way though the Caps have lost these last two games, I'm gonna use here. Matter of fact, let's go to an old game, because I'm gonna tell you all how I felt. Can we go back to an old game for a second, if you all don't mind? What's your one word? I want to know you all's one word, because I got a one word. What's your one word to describe the feeling of two games down now that the Caps and how they lost 2 games in a row? What's your one word to describe that? I have a one word, but I want to know you all's one word first. Okay. Now, to Mazdak's point in the chat, there is still hope. All right. They come back home. Maybe they can make something happen. All right. But my one word, after losing both of those games, you want to know what it was? It was demoralizing. That's what that was. The goalie. Wait a second. Let me just say this. And I said it. I said, and I'm gonna share this with y'all in the spirit of transparency. I don't get upset about sports anymore. Once you have to look at it objectively, once you're just reporting the news, once you're just stating the facts, you're like, hey, listen, the Wizards made me mad that night. I think I couldn't believe it, but that's the only time they made me mad in a really long time, and they made me upset. Commanders, they just, but hey, nope, not. The Caps have never done that to me. And I sat on my couch, coaching from the couch, and I was like, that is demoralizing for your team. And ooh, for the goalie. You up 3-0, and you let them score 5 unanswered points. That's bad. That is demoralizing. I want to see the Caps pull this off. Of course, I always do. But the manner in which they lost both of those games is hard to come back from, even from a mental perspective. This will have to be something that, from a mental perspective, they're going to have to listen. Y'all might think I'm playing, but I shared this with a colleague last night. I said they're going to have to think Stanley Cup. They're going to have, in order for them to make this happen, they're going to have to act like this the Stanley Cup games. This is it. This is it. This is it for them. Because you can't lose like that at home, then go to their establishment and lose like that in front of all those people. It's just too much. So they have to mentally lock in and get in Stanley Cup mode if they want to fight to get through this. And absolutely if they want to win. Because 5 unanswered goals, if I'm the Florida Panthers, and not just the team, if I'm the coaches, right now, Coach Laviolette is getting his behind out-coached, okay? I was like, ooh, Coach Laviolette, I hope you're here next season, my friend, because this is not good. They have caught on to what you do. You come out strong offensively, but you can't last the whole game. And that has been Florida Panthers' MO the entire season. That's how they beat you. They're going to let you go out there and give it all you got, and you're going to think you're going to get way ahead of them, and they're going to come back and be like, bye. W for us. They've been doing it all season. What they're doing to the Caps, the Florida Panthers have literally done this the entire season. Because while the Wizards had me all caught up in the rapture most days, I had to keep in place with hockey, because I said the Caps still got a season. I got to pay attention to them too. So yeah, they better lock in. They better dig real deep, because the Panthers got their heart right now, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't. We on a time crunch. How much time do we have? Lock in, love button, fire emoji. Commanders fans, where are you? Now, let me say this. While the Commanders fans are checking in, and others, Commanders fans, NFL fans, all are welcome on Coaching from the Couch. All are welcome. Listen, I'm going to say this. You all know it's a big time NFL schedule show, so we do not want to get in the way of that show. We want everybody to drop off and listen to that show and all of that. So I'm going to come back on live at 9:00, but I'm going to be with my mentor and sports media colleague, Donna Hopkins, on some of our family from Fox Sports 1340 AM Urban Sports Scene. We're going to be live with them at 9:00 to break down the Commanders' schedule. 9:00, I believe it's on the All Burgundy and Gold Everything page. So when we drop off from here and close this out, you all need to see, you're going to see me again tonight to break down the Commander's schedule with one of the GOATs of the industry, Donna Hopkins. Anybody asks me to be on a show with Donna, you know I'm not going to turn that down. I'm coming. I will be on there. So we're going to break down the full roster with the guys from the urban sports scene. We're going to have some fun. We're going to lock in. But let me tell y'all this. I think that the NFL, I have to actually commend them on the job they've done for the most part in keeping the leaks down. And we know they got to keep the leaks down because they got a show. And they don't want any of the leaks, to ruin the show. So, but of course, there's still leaks that got out, right, to the media, to other colleagues, mostly centered around Carson Wentz. I figured that out. Of course, the tried and true rivalry of the Commanders versus Cowboys, that game information has come out and has got out. But anything else that got out was all centered around Carson Wentz. Like, for example, open week 1 at home versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. I said myself, let me go ahead and say this about Carson Wentz and the Commanders having to open up against the Jags. Can I just say this? I mean, how petty can you be? How petty can you be? How y'all gonna see, it's all a gimmick. All a gimmick. And I'm like, but hey, you got to get some ratings somewhere for that game. Everybody knows that's the team, that's the game that basically got Carson Wentz traded out of Indianapolis when he lost to them. And I said, well, what do you know? NFL, they smart. They're very smart. So I was looking at this like, wait a second. The Commanders in Dallas week 4? Now, here's the other thing that I thought about this. Was very interesting. It goes back to the theory, and I've talked to some of my colleagues about this, that this may not even be a rivalry anymore. Like, okay, but it's not your Thanksgiving Day thing. It's not, there's some Christmas Day games there this year. Nobody really cares anymore. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the truth, right? So it's not really a big ticket item game anymore. So, okay, we're going to put this in week 4, see how it does. I thought it was crazy. I was like, I don't know how that's going to work. Then I said, okay, Thursday Night Football, Chicago. It was quite interesting because I said, hey, this was really coming out from Chicago media. They're excited about this game. And I said, okay, well, that's dope that y'all are so excited. That's cool. Primetime game. Super. Again, a lot of the other stuff centered around Carson Wentz in the Colts. All right. October 30th, game. And then, of course, Carson against Philly for Monday Night Football. So the Commanders are back in the primetime queue, and that's nice. Here's what's interesting. The Commanders have a very, very late bye. A very late bye week. Very late in the season. And so that is what is concerning to me, because we know that this team has a hard time staying durable for the long haul. So with the late bye, I was like, oh man, this is going to be whoo. So listen, I'm actually about to let you all go because we gotta shut it down. We got to do what's right and go ahead and let everybody tune in to the NFL schedule, but make sure you're tuned back in to All Burgundy and Gold, everything, featuring Donna Hopkins and myself this evening at 9:00, along with our fan from Urban Sports Scene, Fox 1340 AM. It is live, so make sure you comment and let me know that you're on and you're there. Okay, you guys, it is always a blast to get with you all to cover all things DMV sports for the week. You all be safe, and I'll be seeing you guys again soon.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. CWall, you're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, CWall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, caps, booty stick.
My name's CWall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, picking any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition bad.